Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on this show to recap the national championship game here between number 1 Indiana and number 10 Miami. What a national championship we got. Is how I want it to go. You know, I wanted a close, great game, but with Indiana going on top. Don't hate Miami. I just want to see Indiana complete a perfect season because I like Kurt Signetti, like Fernando Mendoza. And what a story this season's been, man. Indiana just has went from the bottom of the barrel of college football to, in a few seasons, national champions, play an undefeated season, win the Big Ten, win their quarterback wins the Heisman Trophy. Now they win the national championship. Kurt Signetti, man. What a season. What a last 2 years. JMU went 8-3 in 2022, 2023 11-1, 2024 11-2, and this year undefeated. And I'm ready to say it, Kurt Signetti's the best coach in college football, man. I can't believe I'm saying the Indiana Hoosiers have won a national championship. One of the best coaching jobs in college football history. And that last play, man, I was nervous, man. But that's the story of Carson Beck's career, the interceptions, and it hits at the worst time. But the Big Ten, they win another championship, and they are the premier conference in college football, not the SEC. But that's been the story. That's the story of Carson Beck's career, the interceptions, and he's been good with not having those throughout these playoffs, and it hits him at the worst possible time because Miami's offense really wasn't clicking in the first half. The receivers weren't really getting open. They couldn't run the football, but they're able to do a lot more in the second half. I'd say Indiana's defense really got wore down. Mark Fletcher had some big runs in the second half. Malachi Toney was finally getting some big explosive plays. But Carson Beck gets picked off there at the end. Last pass in college was a duck. Been there for 7 years and still can't read a defense. But the Hoosiers deserve it. They've been the best team really most of this season. This isn't the weakest natty ever. It might be the weakest natty ever, but if you think it is, then I really don't care. That throw at the end just wasn't even close. You got to make that play if you're Carson Beck. Maybe I just don't think he read the defense right there. I don't know. That was just a poor throw, but what a season. Their last 4 games, they beat Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, and Miami. That's the best team in the country, and Signetti finally lets out a smile. But Miami really messed up when they didn't even offer Fernando Mendoza a walk-on scholarship when he went to high school in their backyard. But Indiana almost cost themselves in the end that false start, and they're only able to get a field goal. But luckily, Carson Beck come up clutch. There's Charlie Becker, man. You know, he's not going to be the most talked about player of these college football playoffs. But Charlie Becker, man, he's shown up in every moment during this run, in close games. Like when Indiana's in close games and there's third downs, that's who Fernando Mendoza trusts on third down. That's where he goes to. Third, fourth downs. He has been so impactful. He was really Mendoza's guy in the big spots. And Miami did kind of have a midget covering him, so it's going to be... And it's also even easier when you have a smaller player covering him, because he's pretty damn tall, but Charlie Baker really got going towards the end of this season as well. So he's been really he was really impactful. But who would have guessed that Fernando Mendoza picking Miami over hometown Miami as a transfer would determine the national championship? But this is just a team and a program that checks every box. Like Indiana, they move well past being just a cute story. Like gifted, experienced, gritty, and clutch. Incredibly, really well coached. They deserve this. I don't want to hear, oh, they have 23 yards on their team. Any other team can go out there and get these players. Kurt Signetti in Indiana just did it better. They don't have a single 5-star on this roster. They have probably 3, 4 stars. 4 stars, 3 stars. You say, oh, they're 23-year-old. Well, any other team can go out there and get them. But I just don't see how Miami can't figure out these third downs. That's where they're going. And he also entered the Big Ten championship, so you got to know where he is on third down. But what a turnaround, man. Mendoza, but Fernando Mendoza he was not really great through 3 quarters, but they didn't throw the ball out in the 3rd quarter. He really didn't do much. But that block punt really changed the momentum. I thought it was 10-7. They get the punt blocked. That was kind of a momentum switch. But that 4th and 5 by Mendoza, that's just grittiness. 4th and 5, they were going to kick the field goal. Time's running out. Sticknady doesn't know what to do. Calls timeout. Mendoza gets the first down. Gets up from the attempted tackle. Dives in the end zone. Just a gritty play, man. How did Miami not just let him convert, but they get a touchdown there? He's just so cold, man. This game was so good. Given the stakes and the historic nature of Indiana's season, that was a huge play. Just so tough, especially against that defensive line, to make that play happen. On that 4th and 5. That's why he's going number 1 in April. Genuinely unbelievable how good this team is. And it's just what a play by Mendoza. Miami never gave up. Like, Miami played a good game. They were gritty in the second half. Like, Mark Fletcher really showed up. Like, Carson Beck showed up in the second half. Mark Fletcher Jr. was able to really get going in the second half. Had a 57-yard touchdown run. He had another one. Malachi Toney done most of his damage in the second half. Him and C.J. Daniels were really the main guys in the receiving game. And Mendoza didn't have his best night, but he came up clutch in the 4th quarter. I mean, he got that touchdown. He had some throws to Charlie Baker. Just what a season for Curt Cignati. But let's go over the stat sheet here. First, Indiana, they ended their season 16-0 as national champions. 27 points. They had 3 in the 1st quarter, 7 in the 2nd quarter, 7 in the 3rd quarter, 10 in the 4th quarter. Miami, man, they gave a really good effort. Credit Miami in this playoff run, man. They had to go through Texas A&M, Ohio State, Ole Miss, and they come up just short of Indiana. Carson Beck just sold the game there at the end. That was a throw that probably most quarterbacks make, but I don't know. Carson Beck couldn't read the defense right there, and the throw was just too short. But still, Indiana had to pick it off, and they did. That was a Jamari Sharp with the interception. But Indiana, they had 21 points, 0 in the 1st quarter, 0 in the 2nd quarter, 7 in the 3rd quarter, 14 in the 4th quarter. Fernando Mendoza, 16 of 27, 186, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He had 7 runs for -8 yards and a touchdown. Most of that was sack yardage. Like, Miami's defensive line did give them problems tonight, especially early. But 4th quarter is just Mendoza making plays, man, like he has all year. First 3 quarters, you didn't see much of it, but you saw it more in the 4th quarter. Kalen Black, 17 runs, 79 yards. Roman Hemby, 19 runs, 60 yards. Riley Nowakowski, the tight end, had a rushing touchdown. Receiving, Omar Cooper, 5 catches, 71 yards. Felt like every time Omar Cooper caught the football, he had a big play. Charlie Baker, 4 catches, 65 yards. He was huge in this game. Charlie Baker. Elijah Surratt, 3 catches, 28 yards. Nowakowski, 2 catches, 17 yards. Defensively, they had 1 sack, 7 TFLs, and the interception by Sharp. 2 of 2 on field goals from Nico Radicic. And then Isaiah Jones recovers the blocked punt for a touchdown. Carson Beck, 19 of 32, 232, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had really struggled in the first half. The receivers weren't getting open, but once the Indiana defense wore down, he was able to make more plays in the second half. But, man, he needed to make one. Throw was just too short. He played a pretty good second half for the most part. Made some huge plays when he needed to. But that last throw, man, it was too short. But yeah, Beck, 19 of 32, 232, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Mark Fletcher, 17 runs, 112 yards, 6.6 carry, and 2 touchdowns. Mark Fletcher, 17 runs, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Malachi Toney, 10 catches, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. C.J. Daniels, 4 catches, 62 yards. Bauman had 1 catch for 22 yards. Defensively, they had 3 sacks, 6 TFLs. Carter Davis 0 for 1 on field goals. Missed a huge field goal right there. I think it's 4th and 2 in the first half. But let's get at the team stats now. But let's say Hoosiers. Let's go over the team stats here to end it off. And then I'll wrap it up and my final thoughts as this college football season's come to an end. So Indiana team, man, such a good story as the seasons went along. After they beat Oregon, it was after that Oregon win, I thought they were legit, and they proved it all season long. So let's go over the team stats. Indiana had 20 first downs. They were 6 of 15 on third down, 2 of 2 on fourth down, 317 total yards, 6.9 a pass, 131 rushing yards on 45 attempts, 2.9 a carry, 5 penalties for 38 yards. They had no turnovers, 36 minutes time of possession. Miami, they had 15 first downs, 3 of 11 on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down, 342 total yards, 7 yards a pass, 110 rushing yards, 21 attempts, 5.2 a carry, 7 penalties for 60 yards. 1 turnover with the interception at the end, and 23 minutes of time of possession. But yeah, man, pretty good national championship in the fourth quarter. But honestly, I consider it a good game. This is a much closer game than people would have thought. I thought it was going to be a close game. I really did. People are like, oh, it's going to be a blowout, 20, 30 points. I'm like, I don't think so. But I'm glad it was a close game. But I'm glad Indiana finished their story on just a historic season. Never won jack shit. Historically terrible football school. No 5-star recruits. A 2-star Heisman winner. It shows how great a team is better. Shows that a great team is better than great players. But that was the most Carson Beck ending to a college career of all time. But the Big Ten wins another national championship. But I'm happy for Fernando Mendoza, Kurt Signetti, the Indiana fans. For Miami, man. But for the Miami fans, man, it's gutting. I mean, last drive, you have a chance to go down and win, and then the interception. This year's Miami team was incredible. Besides the 2 games they lost, which really were kind of, I guess, flukes. Great job by Indiana. There are many future NFL studs that play on that field tonight. But history was made. What a legendary way to finish this season. But Miami had a really good playoff run, too. Let's not ignore that. They had a really good playoff run. But unfortunately, the Carson Beck interception happens on the most important drive of the season. It's the most Carson Beck moment. He had 0 turnovers all night, then talks to Ray Lewis for 5 seconds before the last minute of the game and throws a college career-ending pick. That's crazy. But yeah, a really great college season, man. Good to see Indiana finish it off. That's really all to say here, man. What a college football season it was. Now we get to a long off season. A hell of a national championship game. But yeah, that's all to say. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Till next time out. Peace.